Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet again another episode of the DarkMatch. I am but one of four humble hosts, Ironbite.
I am the Mastodon of Monotone, Christopher Says.
I'm your token chick duo's Angel.
And I'm the guy with no cool nickname, No Leaf Clover. And this is, what is Iron Sheik tweeting now? Now, it's not so much that he just tweeted this, but we had to, after we lost that whole sacrifice review thing, yeah, we're gonna go back and say what we were gonna say on that show. I want everybody to know I killed the Bin Laden myself, not the U.S. I fucking kill him. Bin Laden, pussy faggot motherfucker. I kill his small dick and balls. I fuck the Bin Laden mother in the ass. Bin Laden mother call me every day. She want to fuck me.
So if I understand, Iron Sheik is basically saying he killed Osama bin Laden. Great. Well, Sheiky, we love you very much, but we have to get on with the WWE recap for this week.
Yeah.
Go home.
Just answer that call from bin Laden's mother, and then take your call from Gaddafi's niece.
Yeah.
Numtish. Yeah, she's gonna make some girl humble. That's for sure.
I don't even think he can anymore. But I don't. Just going to this week for the WWE, unlike TNA, was a pair of go home shows because, well, we've got Over the Limit coming up, and for a pair of go home shows, they were pretty decent.
Yeah.
Especially SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely. As usual for the past 2 weeks, SmackDown was better than Raw this week.
Yeah, it's getting the post WrestleMania, the whole WrestleMania slump of SmackDown has ceased, and Raw is getting back into pretty solid form as well at this point.
And to be quite honest with you, even the post draft syndrome that SmackDown usually comes has, because they get utterly and completely raped usually in the draft. It hasn't been that bad. I mean, it's getting to the point where things are definitely more or less on a more even keel.
Ditto. They're prominently using all the most featured acquisitions they've gotten, and they're using them in a decent capacity. I mean, Sheamus, Mark Henry, Randy Orton are all in the title. Well, one of them has the title, but
yeah,
they're in the title picture over on SmackDown, and over in Raw, even the guys they got like Alberto Del Rio and Rey Mysterio, they're being decently used. I mean, we're still getting a recap of Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio, but we'll get into that. We'll get more into that in a little bit because this is the Raw recap. And I gotta say, coming out with having Cena come out and go, hey, welcome to the Alamo. Okay, a little cheesy. And he gets down to the ring, and before he can even speak...
New catch.
Yeah, that's Alex Riley's new catchphrase.
That guy cannot get a break, can he?
That guy was drafted over to SmackDown. Has he competed once on SmackDown?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Oh, he's attached to The Miz. I guess that's the only excuse they really have.
Yeah. I want to see Alex Riley succeed or fail on his own, not attached to a guy who's only about 2-3 years older than he is.
Yeah, because especially if eventually Miz doesn't prove to be like a good draw, or for some reason Vince says like, I don't like this guy anymore. Like I like him about as much as I did when he first debuted on SmackDown or did the Diva Search, and just kind of drops him. In that event, Alex Riley will pretty much have nothing.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they've attached Alex Riley to quite possibly one of the hottest talkers they've got going for them.
He's not a bad one himself. He might take a few
not.
slip-ups, but yeah.
And out comes The Miz, because Alex Riley says, The Miz will never, ever utter the words, I quit. And then then Cena counters with a list of things The Miz won't say, would never say no to, like, tickets to the Jonas Brothers. Huh? That makes no sense when you consider the fact that a good portion of Cena's main target demographic
probably would.
Probably would also go see the Jonas Brothers.
A good portion of his younger female audience, not so much the boys.
Not to mention, also, it probably would have improved if he had said maybe Justin Bieber, because as far as I'm concerned, the Jonas Brothers are not nearly as relevant, and they're the same deal.
Yeah, pretty much. But we get a general mail alert to Michael Cole's iPad.
Oh, Michael.
I can't come out of my coal mine because if I do, Jerry Lawler might say mean things to me.
Let's not rag on Cole just yet. Otherwise, we'll be here all fucking night.
We'll wait till the segment.
We'll get to Cole. The Raw general manager, who nobody knows and could be just about anyway, decides to give Miz the power to name a stipulation for tonight. And Miz says, he's not going to decide who Cena's going to face just yet. We're going to have to draw that out. But he does promise that it will be awesome. Okay. All right. That's perfectly fine. You can do that, Miz. Yeah. But so we go to commercial and we come back and we get our first match: CM Punk versus Kofi Kingston.
Good one.
Yeah, good one.
For its time, I mean, could have been a little bit better. Like I don't know why it was there, because it doesn't seem to be transitioning into a match tomorrow night. But
yeah,
CM Punk.
It was just a match that was a match, just to have CM Punk get a tiny bit of momentum going over the limit, considering he hasn't really done anything since Extreme Rules, because he got his ass whipped.
Well, it did have a bit of a point. It was to kind of set up that, the new Nexus is back together and they're going to get back to, taking over. And, Punk even has his promo right after talking about how, that match was him leading by example.
Did we lose it? Oh.
Yeah, so there was a point to it, not in the larger storyline sense that, Mason Ryan and, actually that comes later. So yeah, there was kind of a point to it. So never mind, you're right, close.
Nonetheless, like he cuts the promo saying, because Randy Orton is no longer here, no more Mr. Nice Punk. I'm gonna go all out. So if I was before. And we go from there to Miz in a sort of distant camera shot. Like I think they're taking a little bit too much advice from Jason Hervey. But Miz is talking to Vicky and Dolph, and they're kind of hinting that maybe he's the mystery opponent. Well, I wish.
Wait, who the hell is Dolph? All I saw was that guy that looked like a caw.
You know what?
Brown guy that wore.
I don't know if anybody.
He was with Vicky. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. I thought Dolph was this super charismatic guy with blonde hair, and he looked different, and he talked all the time. This guy just looked like a regular old guy who, is going to get future endeavored within the next year or so.
I don't know if anybody remembers this, but when Cody Rhodes first showed up, his nickname among the internet wrestling community was CAW, as in Cody Rhodes, because he looked like a created wrestler, and he used a a created wrestler's finisher or something. I don't know, but we go to commercial and we come back with a Divas match. Kelly, bless her heart, who has been working so hard to be at least a decent wrestler, decides to is going to take on Brie Bella, non-title Divas match, and Nikki's at ringside, and the Bella Twins are heels now because they haven't changed their costume from black to any other color, so they're heels.
Speaking of costumes, you know what bugged me? Kelly has pockets on her tights, and they're too small to put anything in. That bothered me.
There's pockets on the underwear. Shorts.
Yes,
I've
there's
never
pockets
seen
on
that.
the shorts. Why are there pockets on the shorts?
That's a legit question.
What? Wow.
Yeah, that should pretty much tell you how exciting the match was. Kelly did a bunch of stuff like a Thez press, and she did that multiple rotation head scissors, and although she was almost thwarted by Nikki attacking her while the ref wasn't looking, she rolled up Brie for a 3 count.
And after the match,
Kelly wins.
Kelly has won, and at Over the Limit, she will take on Brie Bella for the Divas title. But that was not the end of the story, because after the match, the Bella Twins decide to kill Kelly. And this brings out Kelly's guardian angel / stalker / I don't know what she is, Karma.
Oh shit, the bitch is back.
Karma comes down to the ring and finally does what we've been wanting her to do for a while now. Kill a bitch. She the Bellas try to take on Karma. They really do. Bless their hearts. They don't do the smart thing and roll out of the way. Kelly, meanwhile, is knocked out in the corner. And Karma, one of them tries a clothesline, gets knocked down. The other one tries a crossbody, and Karma catches her and goes, oh no, you didn't. Snap, Z-snap.
Is Karma gonna have to kill a bitch?
And Power slams her, and then the other Bella's like, oh, I gotta get into the ring to help my sister. You know what? No.
Yeah, it was Brie that did that.
Yeah, Brie's the one that pretty much stands there, watches her sister get killed, and then just leaves.
Yeah.
Well, that would turn him if she had tried to do something. Then again, Karma doesn't have enough.
After the implant buster, Karma walks over to Kelly, and picks her up, caresses her hair, and then flicks her in the forehead.
Which I think...
I like that.
For all intents and purposes, what I think is going to happen, what I think is going to be which I think is going to be good for both of them, is that the angle is going to be Karma is running through all the WWE divas. You know what I mean? She's destroying all the WWE divas, but the one person that she doesn't take serious is Kelly. That's the one person that isn't even a threat, so she's not even going to bother beating her up. Because what's the point? Kelly can't beat her.
I don't think it's that, because I can't speak on Alicia Fox, because when Karma pretty much killed her too, I'd never seen her on TV. But every other person that Karma has gone after has either been a heel or had, in Eve's case, recently done something heelish, because Eve went off on the locker room. So I think they really are just going with this kind of vigilante angle, that the name really does mean something. It's not just something they came up with on the fly to give her.
Yeah, that could be true as well. She basically, Kelly is the most innocent of all the divas, so she's not gonna beat up Kelly.
I just want everybody to scratch their brains for a second. But has Kelly ever gone heel?
No.
Okay. Because I think almost at least every single diva on the roster has been a heel at one point. in their careers, not just in their current run when you get to Gail Kim. We go back to the back, and through a chain link fence, we see The Miz talking with Big Show.
It's
And
fair enough because they used to be tag partners, even though that didn't end well. But
It
more
ended up with Miz getting punched in the face hard.
Yeah, and I'm quite glad that he didn't choose Big Show.
yeah. So we come back from commercial, and here's Rey Mysterio.
Booyaka, booyaka.
And he starts speaking Spanish.
Yeah, that whole he runs through the whole Spanish English thing. Basically says that although I didn't get to the number one contender spot, I still got jumped by R-Truth, and that's a bunch of bullshit. Like he's been passed over before, but R-Truth had no business taking him down, and he likes to handle his business like a man. So R-Truth, if you have any balls, get out here. Cut to
Can we go back?
As he doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think one of the reasons why they haven't had R-Truth come out to confront anybody is they're still working on heel music for him. And the reason why I say this is because instead of R-Truth, when we get back from commercial, we get Alberto Del Rio.
Well, if you notice, when he interrupted the promo 2 Raws ago, I'm counting like this Raw and then the last one, you just hear, he didn't say this on the microphone, you just hear, "The truth set me free," and on the Titantron, just a blue background and the white text of those words.
So, again, I don't think they have heel music for Truth at this moment, which is kind of stupid if they were, like, planning on...
It probably wasn't
Coming
something
in
they
heel.
planned. It probably wasn't something they planned on for like months on end.
And now they're scrambling. But Alberto Del Rio comes out and challenges Rey Mysterio, because Rey doesn't deserve to be on the same stage as him, because he's a true Mexican and Rey is just Chicano.
Like the rest of these people in San Antonio. Cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cheap heat. It was definitely cheap heat, and we get Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio, and we have a fairly decent match between these two.
Oh yeah. See, it's always good when those.
Did you expect anything different?
No, I'd never expect anything different from Rey Mysterio, because regardless of how many knee surgeries he had, he can still go, and Alberto Del Rio is just a fantastic guy to watch. About halfway through the match, though, we get R-Truth appearing up in a luxury box, and he's got a mic, and he's screaming. He's screaming that there's a thief. There's a thief in the ring. Somebody stole something, and it's Rey Mysterio. He stole his spot.
It would have been even more awful if he had just been up on the balcony and we had heard the words "Fire!" Got arrested for that shit.
Yeah,
it was script, officer.
It was just amazing that, and it did take away from the match, but we get right back into it. Rey Mysterio, sets Alberto Del Rio up for the 619, and Ricardo jumps in the apron and takes it for the team, and Rey gets the win for the DQ. But that's not the end of the story.
Yeah, but which kind of doesn't make sense in the first place, because Ricardo took the move, not did he? What? Because I forgot what exactly happened. Did he just take the move, or did he hold on to Rey's legs?
He grabbed hold of Rey.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, that's why the ref called for the DQ. I did go back and watch that a couple times to try to figure out what the hell happened, and Ricardo basically just grabs hold of Rey Mysterio and says, "No, I am a wrestler, but I have been paid to be his ring announcer. You cannot do this." After the match, though, Alberto Del Rio decides to lay down Rey. This gives R-Truth enough time to come down, and does his jumping... What the hell is R-Truth's finisher now?
It's a inverted arm trap STO, I guess. Downward spiral.
It's the move that they use when you don't have a finisher.
Right, okay. And this apparently will set up R-Truth versus Rey Mysterio for Over the Limit. Okay.
Okay.
Cut to commercial, and we get back for the contract signing between Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole.
Oh, look, it's everyone's favorite angle.
God.
Yeah, to run through this, Cole basically says, Lawler, remind everyone what's going to happen if I beat you. And Lawler says, yes, I'll give you my ring, and I'll personally induct you into the Hall of Fame, and you'll get your glory. And Cole says, you know what? I'm still not going to sign this contract because I want to tell you what the actual match type is. Think back to 95. You wrestled a certain match with Bret Hart, a Kiss My Foot match, and you lost. And Jerry Lawler said, are you fucking comparing yourself to Bret Hart?
That's basically what Cole is doing. And once again, I know this amuses everybody, nobody but Vince. This has been the dumbest angle of all time, okay? And and here's why. I'm sure No Leaf has more personal reasons for it. Michael Cole cannot stay heel within a match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like he'll still kind of get all excited when Cena gets into his zone. This is vintage Cena, et cetera, et cetera. Same with Orton. He heals out on Christian, but yeah.
But even then, he doesn't stay consistent. This is what has been ever since Michael Cole has gone heel. Even excluding the Miz, he cannot stay consistently heel. Lawler, when he was being the heel commentator, could stay consistent.
Oh, fuck
okay?
Yeah.
He could stay consistent. Cole can't. Cole won't.
Another example, someone who would offer any kind of absurd justification for favoring the heel wrestler, and it always worked.
Yeah, it did.
Jesse the Body, anybody?
Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura could do could do that at the same time. And
the great heel commentators find a way to, put over the face talent without putting them over.
It's like if Cole wanted to, perhaps he's too scared to heel. Vince is probably telling it, but in another sense, if we throw Vince out of the equation, perhaps he's too scared to heel out on John Cena, and if he needs any advice, he should just follow what Jericho did and say, you come in every week on Raw, you dominate time, you dominate every single other person in this company that needs to get an opportunity, you make everything about yourself, you consider the title yours at every single point. Could say shit like that.
Yeah.
But,
are you sure he's not talking about, Jericho wasn't talking about Triple H there?
Oh no, he was talking about Cena. This was right before he left for his Fozzy tour. It was a good opening promo.
Ah, okay. Well, and that's the thing. And in the ring, there's Michael Cole. There's not Michael Cole.
Actually, I do want to add something.
Oh, go ahead, Duos. Please do, because I'm about to go off on something.
Oh, I'll be quick.
No.
As far as Cole not being able to, go all the way heel, there's a way they could make that work. He could just, kind of be a bandwagon hopper. He could probably make something like that work where, whoever is, seems to be doing the best, he suddenly wants to be kissing their ass. If they did that, maybe. I don't know how well it would look, but it would probably be something he could work with better.
Actually, that would probably work best with his personality. But we forgot to mention there was somebody else in the ring. Jack Swagger.
Well,
the worst world heavyweight champion, I think, in recent memory.
Which, funny you mention that, because after Jerry Lawler just questions Cole for comparing himself to Bret Hart, he says, listen, for an example of a good performer, here's Swagger. I don't respect him, I don't like him, but I respect the fact that he was a world heavyweight championship. Oh crap, I'm talking like Scott Steiner. He was a world heavyweight champion, and he held on to the belt for a good amount of months. And then Cole said, him? Nobody remembers that shit. He was like, Swagger may have gone to WrestleMania, but that was only because he was representing me.
And immediately, Swagger up to this point was like, yeah, Cole's gonna beat you due to my... What the fuck did you just say? And Cole looks at him and realizes exactly what he says. Because as we all know, the only reason Cole can even hope to compete with Jerry Lawler is if Jack Swagger is at ringside to do the heavy lifting. And he tries to get Swagger on the mic to apologize, and Swagger's like, "No, fuck you. Good luck. Bye." God, I can't believe he said that. Can't believe he fucking said that. And at this point, Cole immediately goes, look at Lawler and says, "Hey, Lawler, it's all good, right? It's all good." Lawler immediately grabs Cole's tie and face plants him into the table.
This segment was worth it just to see that.
Yeah, and basically says, "Hey, look, at Over the Limit, you're going to be kissing my feet." And then he overturns the table on Michael Cole. Great stuff. We got to see Michael Cole, Michael Cole get his ass handed to them.
If this angle doesn't end at Over the Limit, I'm gonna fucking scream.
I know you.
Me too.
I know you. We'll all be able to hear you. We won't be unscathed, will we? So we cut to the back, and Miz is talking with Kane. Miz is talking to Kane, and again, we don't hear anything what they're saying. It could be just like exchanging recipes for quesadillas on the road or something like that.
Well, the implication being the main event for Raw, I'm guessing Kane is saying, "What the hell have you ever done with me, or have I ever done with you? You asking me makes no sense. I'm with Big Show now. As a matter of fact, there he is right now.
Let's get out of here. Let me have my penny title. Let me have my giant penny of a title." And we get out, and we learn this Sunday that Big Show and Kane will defend the tag team titles against CM Punk and Mason Ryan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Why
good.
not?
But first, Kane and Big Show have to take on David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy.
This match wasn't really much. Well, actually, I saw it. I went into the match to see the Master of the McGillicuddy, and I saw the Master of the McGillicuddy. That's how the match finished.
It was one of those matches where we have Kane and Big Show using their size, and in Kane's case, his speed, to basically dominate the new Nexus. Yes. And showing that even when they're just two people, unless your name is CM Punk, you're not going to actually be able to be a real serious threat. You're going to be a threat, but it's a threat that can be overcome. However, here's the finish of the match. If nobody remembers, but last week, CM Punk kicked Kane somewhere. I don't know where. I think it was the back of his head, and Big Show ran over and punched Punk to Kingdom Come. This week, Mason Ryan enters the ring, and Big Show just takes him out, and then Punk used the distraction to kick Kane in the back of the head again, and McGillicuddy hits the McGillicuddy. And he goes for the cover and gets it. It was like, okay, so we get it. The new Nexus can't really do anything without Punk.
Well, see, what I just don't like is that they say, oh, they're going to have this tag match at Over the Limit, and then they proceed to have a tag match with the other members of the Nexus.
Yeah.
No, it's just weird. We go to the back where Scott Stanford interviews the Big Show and Kane, and they're like, "Yeah, they got one over us tonight, but come Sunday, It's redemption time. And before we get back to the ring for the main event, John Cena proves he's a broski. And because he runs into Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder gives him a t-shirt and bumps fists with him. And I gotta say, this very subtle push for Zack Ryder is kind of awesome.
They're not pushing him.
They're poking him a little. Maybe.
Yeah.
And before we move on, we forgot that before the commercial break, Miz had been talking to R-Truth.
Oh, yes.
That's right. Will R-Truth be the choice?
No.
You know,
Well,
that would at
yeah.
least made sense.
Yeah,
Well,
it kind of would have.
It could have, except R-Truth went up to him and is like, "Fuck you! You stole my title at that pay-per-view with a horrible name last year." Where at the end of it, all they did was chant Daniel Bryan.
But we come out and here's the Miz. He comes out and, all right, Cena, here's your match. It's no holds barred. And says, now get your ass out of here. Cena does. He looks at the Miz and he gets blindsided by Jack Swagger. Oh, and here's your opponent. Where the hell did Jack Swagger come from?
Yeah,
Well, I guess it was Jack Swagger because Jack Swagger wanted to prove like that he wasn't Cole's monkey or something.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Right place,
actually.
right time, but nonetheless, everyone was disappointed by that.
Oh yeah.
Just to say the least. I mean, good lord. It was like, okay, yeah, there he is, and have fun with that. And well, what we get is a no holds barred match where they don't even do no holds barred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a normal wrestling match between between Cena and Swagger, with Miz up on the ring, up on the stage,
Yeah.
and staring down.
To their credit, they do have one spot where Swagger puts a chair in between two turnbuckles, and then he's about to hit a shoulder tackle at Cena, but he runs away, and Swagger eats the chair.
Mm.
That's all.
Yeah, that was about it. But Cena wins
Of course.
via STFU. And after the match, Miz gets on the mic and says, "Cena, enjoy this moment. Enjoy it, because come Sunday, I'm going to make you say I quit, and here's how I'm going to do it. Here's one of the many ways I can do it." And he, says he's going to ram him into the, steel by using the dolly camera. That doesn't make someone say I quit. That makes someone go, thump. I'm knocked out. I can't say shit. And then, Riley was sent off earlier, and he comes back with a PVC pipe painted up to look like a steel pipe.
Yeah.
Well, not really painted up, just painted black.
Yeah, and says, I could hit you with this. And I'm gonna, and you know what? I'm gonna be champion I'm not gonna use this pipe on Sunday, but I'll use it tonight. And Riley tries for the cheap attack, but Cena's like, no. And then Miz connects with the pipe, and Cena, doesn't sell.
Obviously, it was not a kryptonite bat. It wasn't a kryptonite pipe.
Yeah, that everyone was pretty much watching and going, America!
And Cena grabs, clears the ring and looks at Miz and says, "Come Sunday, you're gonna say I quit."
Yeah. Well, moving aside the fact that we'll give our predictions for tomorrow night's pay-per-view, at the end of the show, they fuck whoever booked this for not allowing Miz to at least stand over him with the WWE card because Cena's gonna fucking win.
Yeah.
Like we know that much.
Yeah, just to give. It's another one of those things where it's like, just give him a little momentum going forward, please. We all know he's going to lose, but can we pretend for a second that he's a credible... I mean, not that he's a credible threat, because they've done a good job of making him a credible threat. They just haven't done a good job of convincing us that he has any chance in hell of winning this match.
Or even moving on from this match at Over the Limit. I mean, it's pretty damn obvious, at least from where I'm sitting, that the Miz's star is fading just a little bit in the eyes of Vince, because they really, really want to have Cena versus The Rock with the title on the line.
Oh, I don't think that Miz's star is fading. I think they trust Miz more than they trust a lot of guys, just because of the attention he gets from the mainstream. He is, besides John Cena, he's really the only mainstream guy that garners any sort of attention for him. When you think about it, I don't think it's a case of his star being lost. I just think it's a case of Cena's the champion, and this is just what we're gonna have to deal with as long as Cena's the champion.
That's true.
It sucks, but this is just what happens every time he's champ. And I'm definitely not a anti-Cena guy, but every time he wins the belt, he's a much better face when he's chasing the belt than he is when he has the belt, I guess I'll say. And that could go for any face, because no one wants to see, sometimes you don't want to see the fucking good guy win. But when it comes to Cena, I really think that he's a much better, I'd rather see him chasing the belt all the time than see him,
having it for 8 months.
Yeah.
Because, of course,
give or take.
Yeah, there's that.
And of course, especially on that, we have all of this time, still almost a full year before, Cena versus Rock at WrestleMania. If he loses the belt, that sets it up for him to have to fight so much harder and to want it so much more to get it back in time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very...
And that would be great.
That would be.
It'd be John Cena in panic mode. I gotta get the belt back so I can wrestle The Rock. And then, next year we would be bitching about the fact that he won the belt back right before WrestleMania. But at least there would be a point to it,
Well, fact of the matter is, and plus, I like the way you said, he'd be in panic mode. That would give him excuse to lose when he contends for it more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he is so... It'd be a case where he was just so desperate to win the belt that he'd be beside himself. It would finally add that extra dimension, that extra thing that John Cena doesn't fucking have right now. That little extra bit that would make him relatable and human. Because we talk all the time about how The Rock and Stone Cold and basically all the greatest baby faces have done this, but aside from Hulk Hogan, for the most part, all the major faces in the 90s were kind of relatable because, they lost every once in a while. And you saw how much losing kind of meant to them.
Well, I think what Cena doesn't have is what the Rock did at one point, what Mick Foley did, what Steve Austin did, ditto. I think even Kane was. John Cena doesn't have Mr. McMahon. He doesn't have someone that can get the title away from him in an unfair way and put him over even more as a face.
Yeah,
that really helped him. Really.
Yeah,
well, they kind of have that option available to them. They just kind of refuse to go anywhere with it. whatever they could do that with the Raw GM, in a way.
Yeah, that's true. It's a case of they could do it, but will they do it? As Kevin Nash has said, Vince likes white hats. He likes all-American good guys, and that sucks sometimes because you don't want a fucking all-American good guy sometimes. But that's what Vince likes, and that's definitely what John Cena is.
Well, having at least one on the show would be kind of nice, If that's what you want to do with Cena, then fine, Vince. Do that with Cena. Have Cena be Cena Christ.
Cena Christ.
But sometimes a good guy is only as great as their villain. And while I love The Miz, he doesn't ever seem like a threat.
Yeah. Every great hero, Spider-Man has the Green Goblin, Batman has the Joker, Superman has Lex Luthor. They all need it, and Cena just doesn't have that guy right now.
But yeah, in terms of the result, we pretty much pegged down. We'll see when we get to the predictions. We'll see about how we feel about the match. But nonetheless, moving on to SmackDown. One of the reasons why it was much better is because it starts out with a match between Christian and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And they played a device. Yeah, this is a good match. But before I get to that, they used this device that they do every once in a while, but not on a consistent enough basis. Where say a heel or a face, they're coming to the ring, and then there's a picture-in-picture box where they're cutting a promo, which is a really good way to do it, not so much at the expense to put someone over, not so much at the expense of their entrance, but if they don't get any mic time. Like, for instance, it would have been useful for Dolph Ziggler, because guy never spoke. Would have been useful for Kofi Kingston, guy never spoke.
Yeah.
Basically, Sheamus says in his own box, but they gave it to Scotty Goldman, interestingly. Anyway, Sheamus says...
you remember that they actually did that on the old school Raw?
Yeah.
I remember.
And we were all sitting there watching the old school Raw and going, why the fuck don't they do this more often? This is awesome.
Well, they did it tonight, and it actually pretty, it worked pretty damn good.
I mean, Sheamus had a decent enough argument saying that, well, it took Christian 17 years to win a world title, but it only took me 2 months with him being in Raw, so... I mean, I should be the number one contender. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Sheamus and Christian have a fairly damn decent match between the two of them.
I wouldn't call it decent. I would say it was an excellent match.
Oh yeah, I mean, and coming from, Christian is a 17-year veteran, knows his shit.
Yes.
And Sheamus, quite possibly one of the hottest young superstars they have. And he made mention it took Christian 17 years to get the world title. Yes, it did. There's a reason for that, Sheamus, because you were given the title in 2 months because upper management felt you were ready for that. We all know how the politics work in backstage in the WWE. Amazingly enough, Sheamus goes for his Razor's Edge finisher.
What's it called? I keep forgetting. I know the Irish Curse and
it's the High Cross. Like
the High Cross, right?
Pale Justice, but
yeah, it's a running.
Right. Cole did name it Pale Justice, didn't he? God.
Yeah, ha because
because he's pale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of pale, and I've actually got to interrupt the recap for a second. This week, you know what? I'll actually talk about this after SmackDown. Food Network did a wrestling related thing. I'll tell you guys about it afterwards.
Okay. But, the match was pretty good for Christian. I mean, well, not necessarily, but just in the sense that he didn't really do a lot. Like, it was quite a bit of it was Sheamus powering him down and doing a damn good job of it. Even though in the first few minutes of the match, Christian hit a lot of really well placed slaps to the face. Like, he did that spot where he jumps over the ropes up down to the floor and just slaps him through the first and second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
Christian is probably, amongst the WWE guys, he is probably one of the best guys to get someone over with. Because he's really a guy who understands that you're only as good as, you make your opponent look.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's a lesson. Speaking of John Cena, it's a lesson that John Cena could really do well to learn.
We've discussed John Cena enough, I think, for this for this recap.
Yeah, and
he's
also,
not on SmackDown.
Enjoying, please. We'll get to him again a little bit, maybe. But also, I enjoyed this match particularly because I like Sheamus' Irish Curse backbreaker, and Christian's just the right size to take it.
Mm-hmm. So out comes the smiling heel. Mark Henry comes down.
I know that bothers you. It doesn't bug me.
I don't understand. Everybody goes on and on about, this is a new direction for Mark Henry. This is a new side of his personality. He's still got that shit-eating grin on his face.
Well, now it's a heel shit. He's supposed to be a heel. He's supposed to have a shit-eating grin.
But he comes down, and him and Sheamus just start ripping Christian apart. They start pounding away at him. And Randy Orton comes out, and Randy Orton kind of just looks down going, should I go down and help? Should I go down and help? I should go down and help! And he just to the ring and takes out takes out Sheamus and Mark Henry. And he helps Christian up, and Christian shakes his hands like, "Yeah, thanks, buddy." Doesn't realize Orton took at least a good minute to figure out, hey, I need to help. And we get a rundown of the card, and we find out that Brie Bella is going to take on Kelly Kelly for the Divas Champion.
It wasn't for the Divas Championship. It was. Well, are you talking about they ran down the pay-per-view card?
Yeah, they ran down the pay-per-view card.
Okay, my bad.
And we go backstage to Todd. I lost my job as the SmackDown announcer to Josh Matthews. Grisham is backstage with the Bella Twins, and Nikki is still feeling the effects of the implant buster. She's holding the back of her head. You get smashed on your face, honey. just FYI. And they Bree said, well, I attacked Karma first. And then they were like, well, we kind of would have left each other because, yeah. And now I got to face Natalya.
She calls Natalya a wench.
Yeah, wench.
God damn.
You know what?
Could they find two girls with less I thought Eve didn't have personality, but Eve, every once in a while, Eve will do something I'm like, holy shit, she's actually pretty good. They don't give her much to work with. I could not give a fuck less about the Bellas.
I couldn't. I could. Well, I would fuck the Bellas, but I'd give two shits about the Bellas.
Yeah.
This heel personality that they have is the personality of
drywall.
Yeah, basically. At least his faces, they had personalities. They were smiling, and they look pretty damn good when they smile. But now it's just like,
they act like spoiled brats now.
Basically.
Which you can get from anyone. Easy.
Yeah.
So we go to, so we have a very nice match between Brie Bella and Natalya. And it's pretty damn good.
Well, that has everything to do with Natalya. Like, she got to do her rolling clothesline. She got to do her delayed vertical suplex, and
It was pretty much Natalya going out and working for 5 minutes, just saying, "This is how good I am," and they put these bitches on TV instead. Are you not enraged yet? You should be enraged. Okay, I'm so lost.
I kind of am. This was the first time since I got back into wrestling that I've seen Natalya by herself, and I love her. Like, just instantly. The way she acts in the ring, the way her personality shines through, her skill. I want to see more of her. She is so much more interesting than anyone else, aside from Karma, of course.
You pretty much missed her mini push over the ladder portion of 2010.
Yeah.
Doing some stuff with her, and it was good, but hey.
But unfortunately, again, Brie Bella wins with the X Factor, or as they're calling it, Twin Magic.
Actually, I gotta say about that Twin Magic is actually when someone else gets involved, and if someone called it the X Factor Twin Magic, that was probably Michael Cole getting something wrong, like calling the Master Lock the Masterpiece, calling the Rocker Dropper the Zigzag, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, let's not get into that, but nonetheless, that was a sick face buster.
It kind of was coming out of the corner. You know? It kind of was coming out of the corner.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it was a decent match. Brie Bella looked strong going into Over the Limit later later this weekend. And however, next we get to hear from Big Z Jackson.
Of all the people to cut like 10-minute promos.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. As I was watching this, I tuned him out.
No, see, I didn't, because, like, the way I described it to you guys, and you seemed to confirm it, I was a little wary, because he doesn't have as much of an accent, but I was like, Ezekiel Jackson, I never knew before tonight that he was from Guyana, but nonetheless, this promo was worthy of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It was kind of a weird and for what it was, we're making it sound worse than what it actually was.
The point
it wasn't a bad promo.
He got his point across.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he definitely got his point across, and his point was, now who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
It told me that, so that's why he only said 2 words when he was managing Brian Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick. I could spin stories about him, but I can't because here comes the core. And Heath Slater sporting some new tights. He's gone from trunks to full on leggings. Go the boy from West Virginia.
Just real quickly, Wade Barrett actually was on Twitter, and didn't Wade Barrett say something like, if Heath Slater doesn't shut up about his new tights, I'm going to make him feel like Ezekiel Jackson?
Yeah, he said that.
He did. It was like...
No, and I could just hear Heath Slater never stop going on about his...
It's like,
dude, don't you see it? I'm a one-man rock band. Yes, short. We understand you're a one-man rock band. But these tights...
Now shut up!
Do you see my tights? Yes, Heath, we see your tights. God damn it, man, they're not that impressive.
And you know what? I'm staring at these tights and I'm going, they're not that impressive, Heath. Not that impressive. But as the core, quote unquote, surrounds the ring, which basically means they're on 3 different sides of the ring.
Flank, maybe?
They flank Ezekiel Jackson, gaining a +2 to all attacks. Wade Barrett does not get the +2 because there is nobody behind Big C. However, Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater will be getting the +2 since they're flanking. Dirty moment. However, Teddy Long comes out and bless his peanutty head. goes, hey, you guys want action? Here, I'll make some action. We'll do a 6-man tag. Here's Big Zeke's partners, and out come Big Show and Kane.
Well, it's the big boom.
Yeah, I have to say this match, once again, going back to the match that Big Show and Kane had on Monday, decent enough match.
Yeah,
Very decent
I thought it
match.
I liked it.
Yeah, Kane once again left his feet for a drop kick on a grounded opponent. It didn't look as good as it did on Monday, however, but that's fine.
No less, yeah. Slater, as much shit as we give him, I think that he's awesome at taking punishment. Like when Big Show gave him that knockout punch and he did the right pose for the kid, like that was really good. But
yeah.
We have a very good back and forth, and then Ezekiel Jackson gets in, and Big Zeke Jackson is in the ring with little Justin Gabriel. Starts raining Gabriel down with body slams.
Body slams
One body
slam.
slam.
5 scoop slams.
And between the 4th and the 5th body slam, the cord comes in. Heath Slater gets choke slammed out of the ring, and Wade Barrett gets big booted out of the ring. And then the 5th body slam, Gabriel is flopping around, and he eventually makes the taps out by tapping on Big Zeke's face.
Correct.
Yeah, which was kind of kind of funny at the when I was watching it. I was like, okay. And then he's tapping on Big Zeke's face, which I just tapped on my own face, and he's like, "Oh right, I'm supposed to tap on my chest. Okay, here I go. Oh, this hurts."
I thought it would have been funny if they had given him the burning hammer, and they're like, "Oh, that's such a good move. We want to get it over, but the person we tried to get it over with has nothing."
So we go to the back, and there's Christian with my former pick base, Matt Stryker.
Loser.
Matt Stryker is interviewing Christian and ask him, "Hey, what do you think about Randy Orton's actions earlier tonight? It was great that he made the save. Let's see the replay. Why did he take so long?" It was like this immediate disconnect. Like, wait, I didn't know he took that long to make the save. Huh. I still appreciate it.
I thought he wanted to make sure I was healthy for this match.
Huh. Okay. It's like, you know what? They gave me something to think about there, Striker. You can go along. We go to commercial. And we come back with a video of Sin Cara beating Daniel Bryan with the assistance of one Chavo Guerrero. And Chavo comes out in a poncho. I have not been watching Superstars.
He's been wearing that poncho for a really long time, dude. I'm telling you.
Mexican warrior.
I do not think he's been wearing it for that long. I do not. The last time I saw it, Chavo Guerrero wrestle was back when he was Kerwin White.
Yeah, trust me. If it's been that long, then yeah, trust me. He's been wearing that for a while now.
Okay,
ponchos are comfy.
Yes, they are. He comes out and he says, "Hey, you know what? Even though Sin Cara is a little pissed at me, but you know what? I brought him to SmackDown." Completely ignoring the fact that it was the draft that brought Sin Cara to SmackDown. It would have been better had he said, "I brought Sin Cara to the WWE," because that's more believable. And he says, "You know what? It took Sin Cara 15 minutes and my help to beat Daniel Bryan last week. I am only going to need 5. And Daniel Bryan comes out, and Chavo and him proceed to have a damn decent 5-minute match.
Decent. It was good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, and considering it was just a 5-minute match,
Well, it was longer than 5
challenge
minutes, actually.
where there's no real winner, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
Well, technically Daniel Bryan won because Chavo had to beat him in 5 minutes, but since he didn't,
Luchas de apuestas.
yes, exactly. Daniel Bryan, it was a great. Okay, you're right. It was a great match. Daniel Bryan took the Three Amigos spot and then took a 5-star frog splash because it can't be 5-star unless it's done by RVD.
No, it's the reason why that's called the 5-star is because he turns in midair when he does it, but nonetheless.
Oh. Daniel Bryan kicks out of the frog splash. Kicks out of the frog splash.
Yeah.
Which kind of buries Chavo a little bit, but at the same time...
Yeah, it doesn't bury him so much. It doesn't bury Chavo as much as it puts over Daniel Bryan, you know? Not a whole lot of people kick out of that.
That's true. And then out comes... And Chavo decides, you know what, fuck this shit. And he starts beating up Daniel Bryan, and out comes Sin Cara, who wears a pretty mask.
Plancha.
That's out of order.
Yeah, I know. But, Sin Cara comes out, ducks a clothesline, hits a nice Hurricane Rana to take Chavo out of the ring. Okay.
I'm just happy Chavo has something to do.
Yeah,
I am
me too. He's
Yeah.
a damn good worker.
Yeah. And we cut to commercial break after telling us that Randy Orton's taking on the world's strongest man, which they put in the little box with his name because, in case you didn't remember, Mark Henry as our main event. But we come out, and here's Cody Rhodes with Ted DiBiase and his 2 assistants.
This was weird.
This kind of was because...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Duos. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, you know, when they get to the actual promo, the whole thing that they did, Cody and Ted, went over my head. I'll admit it. I have no idea what the hell that was supposed to be.
It was
exactly
cheap heat, really.
It really was, and I think it kind of worked. In case you guys don't remember, Cody has Ted represent the entire city of Corpus Christi, and he gives him a paper bag and he puts it on his head. And Ted is basically the spokesperson for Corpus Christi, and Cody just berates him. Okay, and about halfway through, he goes, the crowd is not really saying much to Cody Rhodes, but he tells them to all shut up. Because, as has been discussed before, Cody Rhodes is a little bit, you know...
He has lost his mind, and it is awesome.
He really has. And he's like, shut up! Nobody's saying... And then Ted eventually takes the bag off and says, bring out my opponent. Hey, everybody, Trent Beretta is still employed.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Who's Trent Beretta? Is he like Murphy? Is he like Gunner's pal?
No, he was Kalen Croft's pal, but who's Kalen Croft?
Who the hell is Kalen Croft?
Gunner's pal got screen time.
Yeah, they have I kind of just zoned out of this match. I glanced down at my computer once. I looked up. The match is over.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention because it was fairly obvious from, you know, Trent not getting his name put on the screen that this wasn't going to take long, and that the point was for Trent to lose quickly.
I mean,
so why bother?
Beretta did 2 things. He did some kind of Whisper in the Wind variation, and also he did an Enziguri. But DiBiase gives him a spinebuster, which I've seen him do. He's good at that. Like, if only he was in, like, either the mid-card or the upper card, because that's usually the type of people that do it. Fucker's good at a spinebuster. But nonetheless, spinebuster Dream Street. Trent Beretta jobs in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it wasn't a very good or important kind of match. It was just kind of there. As for Cody's in this weird place where he doesn't really have anything to do, so they keep giving him this super weird stuff to do.
He doesn't have someone so loved as Rey Mysterio and such a good worker at the same time who he could feud with and get over by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think maybe if like Christian is dumped it after Over the Limit, then perhaps he'll pick up the reins. But I don't want that to happen.
Or
I don't
you
either.
think they put him in? Why can't they put him in a feud with like Daniel Bryan or something? Daniel Bryan's not really doing anything. I think that would be an interesting.
See about that. But nonetheless, Trent loses. He gets the bag over his head, and after the next match, Matt Striker says, "We'll hear from Randy Orton's side of the whole thing."
But we have a jobber match.
Another one. Yeah, Khali versus Jey Uso. With
Jimmy Uso at ringside in a suit.
Yeah, vicious Jey Uso and tough Jimmy Uso.
I didn't even know Jimmy was there. Like, I guess I glanced away and didn't see him announced.
He wasn't. They got
I thought he wasn't
entrance. There. But about halfway through this 2-minute match, Khali is like, is like, I don't know where Khali comes out without his translator / brother, or whatever the hell they have Tiger Singh or what's his name?
Khali's
yeah.
translator?
Yeah.
Oh God, I completely forgot.
Jinder Mahal, you mean?
No, that's not his translator.
Ranjan Singh.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ranjan
That
Singh.
fucker.
Yeah, he doesn't come out with senior with
Ron James.
quite possible. Yeah, with Great Khali. It was it was more or less of the lack it was like, okay, I'm gonna come out, and then halfway through out comes Jinder Mahal and starts screaming at Khali in Hindi. Slaps him twice, and then as I scream at the ref, hey, that's a disqualification! And, yeah,
he's your manager, he can do that.
Basically, what this
and
basically what this match was it was Jinder Mahal yelling at Khali for not being serious enough, which I think is where they're trying to take this whole angle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jinder has Khali get back in the ring, and before this, Khali was kind of happy-go-lucky, dancing about, being the Punjai playboy, and he gets back in the ring and he brain chops Jay to death, and then hits the Punjai plunge, which would have a sit-out finisher if Khali's knees could do that.
Yeah, it would be a legitimate choke bomb, but alas.
However, and then after the match, Jimmy's in to check on his brother and gets a brain chop for his troubles, and Jinder's like, yeah, that's good. And then out come, we go to the back, and Matt Striker interviews Randy Orton, and Randy's sort of like, you know what? Christian's lying when he says he's 100%. He's only 99%, but it's not enough to beat, and that's not enough to beat me. What?
Oh no, he actually says that I heard Christian's comments about me taking too long, but he forgets that I have to face the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, and it's like, are you skirting the fact that you didn't help Christian? It's like, well, I have to face someone bigger than Sheamus.
That doesn't matter. You still took 30 seconds to get down to the damn ring. But
don't be a douche, bro. You didn't come down and help him. That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay. We understand. Just admit you were a douche, and we'll move on. So we go to commercial. We come back, and out comes Randy Orton and Mark Henry. Mark Henry still has that big shit-eating grin on his face. Seriously, it's just. I know he's a heel and all, but it just doesn't work when you're Mark Henry.
Yeah, I mean this match wasn't good.
Everyone has their thing, and that's your thing.
Yeah. We go to commercial, and we come back, and I can't take a shot because the face isn't in trouble. I don't know if I'm pretty sure, but I have a little drinking game where I take a shot every time we go to commercial during a wrestling match. We come back and the face is in trouble because that's usually what happens. Not here. Orton and Henry, they have a good match, and Orton goes to that place that he goes to. You know that place. I know that place. The place where the voices start talking. Thank you. And he goes to do the draping DDT when Sheamus runs out and takes him out, and we have a DQ finish. And Orton is getting his ass handed to him by Sheamus and Mark Henry. And out comes Christian. And they basically do what they did at the top of the show. So it was a pretty good bookend, I think, you know?
I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah,
I liked it.
We're skipping the part where Randy Orton gives Mark Henry...
No, stop. We're not skipping it. It hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that.
We haven't gotten to that just yet. Hold on, you're jumping ahead there, No Leaf.
Oh, sorry.
So, Christian finally makes it down to the ring and helps clear it out of Sheamus and Orton and Sheamus and Henry, and Orton's like, man, why'd you take so long? I mean, that sucked, man. I mean, it took to end Sheamus and Mark Henry get back in the ring, and they start doing the attack, and then Christian body drops Sheamus out of the ring, and as Henry's about to gorilla press Orton, Christian kicks him in the gut, and Orton hits the RKO. And then does a split jump.
Yeah, he does a split jump, and he sort of does that really fast, sort of horizontal fist pump. Like it looks like sort of tank guns or whatever.
It's like, yeah, I hit the RKO! Woo! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, Randy Orton, the emotionless viper of the WWE.
Yeah. These are now that he's the face. These are his new spasms. Instead of him like flailing around like a maniac and going kill ya, stupid.
It's now split jump, horizontal fist punch, RKO.
Well, he must be on new meds.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, and that was and SmackDown ends the show with Orton and Christian going, yeah, we're buddies.
We're pals. Everything's cool. Yeah. Everything's copacetic.
I'm gonna say this SmackDown was pretty decent,
yeah.
If only for the fact that even though Michael Cole was on commentary, he wasn't getting involved.
Yes.
Yes, an entire WWE show that was not every minute Cole talking about how awesome he is and how he's going to beat Jerry. It was glorious.
And he didn't get his own segment on the show tonight. Thank God.
Yeah.
One merciful night where he is not the center of attention.
I mean, yeah, he was talking, and during the recap of the show, during the running down of the card, he did scream about how he was going to beat Jerry the King Lawler.
But that makes sense.
That makes sense, and he wasn't the focus, and it was awesome. Oh, it was so fucking awesome.
And he did bring it up one more time. He made a very quick comment to
Booker T.
Yeah, Booker T and Josh Matthews about how, they're going to have to call, the match between him and Lawler. And that's fine, too, because it was very quick. You could have easily missed it. I'll take that as well.
Yeah. So, as I said at the beginning of the SmackDown recap, Food Network also got into the WWE this week with a Food Network challenge. Extreme Cakes. For those of you who don't watch Food Network obsessively like I do, Food Network challenges, they bring in, it's usually cakes. They bring in a bunch of people who do cake decorating. And believe it or not, this shit is insanely insanely competitive. And it was extreme cakes. Go ahead, Duos.
Oh no, I was just going to agree with you. The show is actually quite fun to watch.
Yeah, you wouldn't...
Just to see the sort of things they can create.
It's the only cake show that doesn't drive me up a fucking wall.
Oh yeah, and this week it was WWE Cakes, and they had special guest host who wasn't wearing his protective mask, Cody Rhodes.
I didn't recognize him. It's been that long since I've seen him without that stupid thing. It took me a minute to understand who it was I was looking at.
You actually saw it?
I saw a little bit.
Ah, okay. Well, I watched the
entire
entire
thing.
I watch the entirety because it's something I do. The 4 cake makers, whose names escape me at the moment, so I'll tell you what their cakes were. One person did a Kofi Kingston delivering Trouble in Paradise to The Miz as her cake. I'll tell you the results here because I don't want to recap this entire thing. Another person had The Undertaker pinning Triple H while her cake spun. All these cakes, by the way, had to have a mechanical element where something moved. Another person did Sheamus hitting John Cena with a chair while John Cena did the "You Can't See Me" thing. and I'm going to tell you something. Her cake, there is one comment I have to have. And then the 4th person did Rey Mysterio pinning Randy Orton while the cake opened up and then rose up on an actuator. However, there was a tragedy. During the shipping process of getting these extreme elements to the Food Network studios, the guy who had the Rey Mysterio cake, his equipment was lost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
It kind of does. I would have loved to see how his cake would have worked had he had that equipment with him. However, it was pretty good. Cody Rhodes was wandering the kitchens because that's how it works, and he goes over to the lady doing John Cena and Sheamus, and she's basically putting John Cena together, and he's looking at her and goes, "Is that John Cena or am I looking at Sheamus? Because he's kind of pale." It was kind of funny.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Let me tell you the results. Unfortunately, the Trouble in Paradise cake fell apart.
Aw. I hate it when that happens.
It just fell apart. The problem was it was way too heavy for what they were having.
Clearly, not watch enough TV.
Yes, clearly, clearly, you do not watch enough of Food Network stuff. The Sheamus was supposed to be holding a chair. The chair fell off. However, the movement for John Cena worked. The Triple H Undertaker cake spun around, and the Rey Mysterio cake opened up and rose up on the actuator. And the winner was the 619 cake.
Booyaka, booyaka!
And this guy, the story they were following this guy through the entire show. Apparently, his wife, who was helping him out, by the way, was pregnant.
Oh,
with their latest child. So it was a feel-good story.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, it was. And that was Food Network Extreme Cakes. So let's talk about it.
Yes, let us.
Let us move on to running down the Over the Limit card.
And since Wikipedia never puts the card in order, it seems to be in reverse order because damn fucking straight I expect Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole to be the third to last match. We'll do it from the bottom up.
Yeah. Okay.
Sin Cara versus Chavo Guerrero, which I expect to be quite the show stealer if they give it at least 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually I'm going to go with the consensus, which seems to be filling up the IWC. This is a match just designed to put over Sin Cara.
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally think
Yeah.
I've been saying this. I've said it at least once on the boards, but I think Sin Cara's going to win. Chavo Guerrero's he's gonna really be pissed about it and start and beat him down like after the match. Like it won't be such a like a take it like lay him out kind of finish. It might be a roll up, and Daniel Bryan will come in to make the save. Now there might be a chance that they'd turn him and he'd form an alliance with Chavo and he'd become a heel, but I don't know if they want to do that.
Unfortunately, there's really no reason to turn Daniel Bryan heel at the moment, especially with him being so damn popular.
Yeah.
So I don't see that happening right now. I know they will turn Daniel Bryan heel
Eventually.
if they ever secure the rights to Final Countdown. But as of right now, no.
Well, like all he pretty much has to do is yell "best in the world" and
Yeah, I'm the best in the world. I have till 5. Next match.
Brie Bella versus Kelly Kelly. I see Kelly Kelly going over and having a pretty weak title reign.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kelly Kelly, and then Kelly Kelly goes on to feud with Karma.
Deus?
Yeah, I can see that. Kelly Kelly winning.
I don't. At the same time, I know it's going to happen, so I will give it to Kelly Kelly, but there will be some karma coming for the Bella Twins. Again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Forgive the pun. Next one.
Big Show and Kane versus the New Nexus. I expect Big Show and Kane to retain. I don't think that they're taking too many steps with the New Nexus or Mason Ryan, because it seemed like they were hinting a couple of weeks ago that Ryan would turn away from the New Nexus like as Zeke would be, and perhaps they'd challenge Big Show Kane for the title. But now, yeah.
I'm also going to give it to the champions as well, just because putting it on Punk and Mason Ryan would... I don't know if Punk has actually signed his new contract. I know he's been holding out.
Well, that's a rumor, and Punk has repeatedly said that rumor is bullshit. And Punk's usually not the kind of guy to lie about rumors being bullshit.
That's true. But at the same time, I just don't see Mason Ryan and CM Punk. Yes, they're a credible threat, but only if the rest of the Nexus is at ringside. If they're not, I'm going to have to give it to the champions.
Rey Mysterio versus R-Truth. I don't know if it would be too
Wait, did Duos
early.
Did you give your prediction?
She did.
Wait, I didn't give my prediction
Apologize about
either.
that.
No,
Yeah.
you didn't.
Yeah.
God, Christopher says.
Yeah, really. Aren't you in a fucking rush today?
Where needs me.
At any rate, I'm gonna go with Punk and Mason Ryan. They seem to keep start and stop with whether they still want, the new Nexus to be a legitimate threat or whatever. I think they're gonna lean towards making them a legit threat, and I'm gonna go with Mason Ryan and CM Punk.
I'm with you on that, No Leaf. I think that they're going to at least try once again to bring up the new Nexus. How long they'll stick with it, who knows, but they're at least starting to again.
But
So, as we were saying, Rey Mysterio versus R-Truth.
I'm thinking R-Truth.
Yeah, I think R-Truth.
This is a toss-up for me, honestly. Like I can see R-Truth winning because Rey Mysterio has been pretty good about putting new heels or like up and coming heels over. But at the same time, R-Truth is what's kind of good about like R-Truth and like what you could book him to do is that he's like a heel without a reason, not like in the same sense of the Joker, just like you took my spot, Ray. No, he didn't. The GM did. So like even if he loses, even if Ray goes over, he still probably won't stop bitching. So
I'm actually going to give it to R-Truth, if only for the fact that they probably want to preserve his momentum to when John Morrison finally comes back, and they can actually do that feud.
All right.
This Rey Mysterio feud is actually just a surrogate for the fact that they want R-Truth to feud with John Morrison. And with John Morrison getting hurt, they couldn't do that. So, but I'm still going to give it to R-Truth just because Rey Mysterio's one of those guys who goes, yeah, put him over. I don't give a damn. It's not going to hurt me any.
And you do have a point, being that John Morrison's injury, he should be getting back within maybe 3-4 weeks now, probably.
Yeah.
It's nothing major, but I still kind of don't know. This one's a toss-up for me.
Well, I agree about Ray just being a surrogate, and I think they might keep doing that. That's why I'm thinking R-Truth might win this, is, he'll beat Ray, and then he'll be done with him, and then he'll find someone else that's suddenly standing in his way.
Or someone
until he finally can
in
work
his way.
Yeah.
No Leaf?
Did I already say R-Truth?
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, next
Go.
match.
Oh, Barrett versus Zeke. This one is not a toss-up for me. I think Zeke's going to win just because they're building him up like that, and I don't like that prospect because at that point it would be really hard to get a belt off of a big guy unless they're a heel.
Yeah. I don't really care particularly a lot about this match. I'm just gonna go with Wade because either way it goes, I'm not affected by it.
Gasp! A black man not pulling for the other black man?
God damn it, Iron Bite! I will fucking kill you. Moving on.
Duos. No, it's Duos' turn.
I'm with you, No Leaf. I don't care, but I think Zeke might go over.
Well,
but I don't care either way.
Well, maybe we could have a scoop slam count for this match.
I'm also going to go with Big Zeke just because they have made him into a monster, especially on SmackDown. And it does seem that Wade Barrett is definitely afraid of the big man. So, and even trying to pry the title off of Big Zeke is not as hard as people might think. Because I have seen bigger guys fall to smaller guys. Rey Mysterio beating the Big Show is probably the most
Cena
extreme.
beating the Big Show.
Yeah, anybody beating the Big Show for a championship is quite possibly the best example of that. So yeah, and so I'm going with Big Zeke because they've probably programmed him to be one of the better challengers to Wade Barrett's title. That being said, I would also not. Wade Barrett hasn't had the Intercontinental title for very long. We could see a drawn-out feud between the two, and I would actually like to see that.
Well, either way, I think we'll get a drawn-out feud.
Yeah.
Either way.
So,
Baller versus Bull.
I don't think we have to say what we want to happen. I think we all know what will happen and what should happen and what we want to happen.
I think it's more a matter of what should happen, or at least in our opinions, and our opinions are probably backed up by at least everyone on the forums. Hopefully, everyone watching at home and going to the arenas. But there is always a possibility that this fucking shit can continue.
Yeah, I'm
No.
Only considering the fact that
I have been saying since this has been going on that Michael Cole's going to win. I'm not changing that until he loses. I believe they will put him over Jerry the King Lawler every time. Michael Cole's going to win.
I believe that this might actually be the end, especially with Swagger no longer backing Cole up.
Well, we don't really know that Swagger isn't backing Cole up. We do know that Swagger made this match basically.
I mean, what they could by chance do a backstage promo where Cole just completely makes it up to him in a few sentences, like they kind of did in the SmackDown before WrestleMania, because they teased the same thing before that.
Yeah.
But to get to something about this match that we didn't need to say this when we were recapping SmackDown, but it was funny to me that Cole said, "This Sunday, King's gonna kiss my bloated, sore, gangrene foot."
Ugh.
And it's like, dude, that's not a condition that you fucking take lightly. Usually you amputate something if it has gangrene.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say about that.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, we get Randy Orton versus Christian. I'm tossed. I'm actually kind of torn between the two.
Orton.
Yeah.
Orton. I don't think it's a toss. I've never seen there be a situation where they just switch around the belts that quickly, except for when R-Truth won the U.S. title and then Miz just beat him for it. But yeah, Orton's gonna go over. I think it'll be a good match, but
the thing that makes me kind of, I don't agree with you, but the thing that makes me kind of weary about it is that, pretty much the week after that happened, even after getting Randy Orton on their show, when that happened, their ratings plummeted. I mean, it was a big notice. We're not talking about a couple points here. I mean, it was a big time drop. So, part of me thinks
they might do an on the fly kind of thing.
Yeah, I by no means do I think they're panicking right now, but I could see a scenario in which I'm really torn, but I'm just gonna say Christian to be the outlier here, but I could see a scenario. I won't be mad if Orton wins and they continue it or by any means, but I could see a scenario where I'm going to pick Christian here.
Okay. Deuce, go ahead. I haven't made my prediction yet.
Well, I was going to say Orton, but what Noli said about the ratings kind of makes me wonder, because for a storyline perspective, it would probably be better for Orton because, and this is where it's a problem where they have so many pay-per-views so close together, they really haven't been able to do much with this whole Cinderella story. It's just been happening so quickly that it would be kind of nice to see Christian go a decent amount of time, trying to get the belt back.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually going to go ahead and stick with Orton.
I'm going to go with Christian on this one just because I want Christian to win. I want him to be back on top, back on in the saddle, and basically, once again, the Cinderella story continues.
Yeah, I think part of it's also me thinking with my heart and not thinking with my head, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm probably just too cynical to even accept the possibility that Christian might win, but nonetheless,
think with your heart, Christopher says. Think with your heart.
For me, it's not even cynicism. I want Christian to have the belt too, but for right now, it would be a little more entertaining if Orton retained and that continued to go on. I would like to see more of this.
I will
accept where I'm coming from.
I will actually accept Orton retaining if they turn Christian heel.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I would love
Shut up.
Over as fuck when he was back in 2005 before he went to TNA.
Yeah, he really was. He was over as just over as fuck when it comes to.
The thing is, as a heel, like he could be like a Jericho type of heel. He's that kind of guy where eventually like people just start cheering for him because of his skill.
Yeah. But booing him because of what he says.
Yeah.
So the final match, Cena versus The Miz.
Ugh. Cena.
Well, the Miz.
Spoilers.
The Miz saying that he has a different way to make Cena quit. It piques my curiosity.
See, I thought that was the pipe. Like
No.
I was like, I've got my trump card right here, and I won't use this on Sunday, but I'll use it tonight. Like I thought that's what he meant by I have a way that you won't predict.
No, I think he has something up his sleeve. Actually, when he said that, the first thing I thought was, is Cena married? Is there anyone close to him that could be used as a bargaining chip? Which, if there is, I've never seen them since I started watching.
Well, okay. There's that possibility has been brought up before. He could go grab a kid from out of the audience, a member who's wearing a John Cena merch, and go, hey, I'll give this kid a skull crushing finale if you don't say I quit.
Or he'll scare him like Chuck Taylor.
That might be a bit much.
Or go grab Zack Ryder and says, "This is your broski, right? Well, watch what I do to him. Say I quit."
Yeah, but I think it might be something along those lines, something really diabolical.
It would have to be. I hope that they show that Miz is making at least something of an effort to get in. It's not just like a 15-minute match where Cena just pops up after a lot of offense by the Miz.
And eventually the Miz goes screaming, "I quit," before John Cena smashes him into like into a light or something.
I would honestly laugh if he brings out Batista.
Say I quit or I hurt Batista. Okay.
What?
Wait, what? Oh, this wasn't gonna work ever. God damn it. But we do know, I mean, spoilers, Cena wins. I think that's the consensus. But
yeah.
I'm gonna say this. Over the Limit tomorrow night should actually open with one thing. And in case nobody listened to our show last night, or today, or whenever,
haven't, been paying attention to anything.
Yeah, how dare you not watch our shit?
Yeah, how dare you not watch our stuff? The Macho Man Randy Savage has passed. I fully expect that at Over the Limit, Raw and SmackDown, and possibly even Impact, although I doubt it.
No, Impact's already taped, and yeah.
They can easily they can easily insert it unless they're like fucking lazy. If they do a small tribute to the Macho Man. Rest in peace, Macho Man. You prevented the rapture. You prevented the rapture, good sir. Macho King Randy Savage. We salute you. With that being said, that's the dark match.
And once again, it's time for everyone's favorite game. What got more screen time than Jay Lethal?
Multiple scoop slams got more screen time than Jay Lethal. I'll give the obvious one to someone else.
Go ahead.
I imagine this is the obvious one, and I'm taking it. Trent Beretta got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
No, it wasn't his performer.
Go ahead, No Leaf. Let's see if you get it. You're gonna give it.
The pockets on the back of Kelly's trunks that you can't put anything in got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Really? I get to do it? Thanks, guys. Michael Cole's disgusting, made up foot gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
I'm trying to block that from my mind.
I was thinking more along the lines of Randy Orton's spasms, but
Randy Orton's cheerleader jump got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Man, that man is flexible. And with that, Emmett, I'm Ironbite, your Iron Raptor.
I am Christopher Says.
I'm your token chick duo's angel.
And I'm No Leaf Clover. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good night and good luck.
Bye.
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 Dun, 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 dun.
Really need to find out what.
Did you lose the music?
No.